never paid application fee for any of the school. All the language of instruction is in English. There is no restrictions with respect to number of hours that you can work per week, like every other country's practice. And some people might be wondering, oh, what if I come with my family? And no, yeah, you can come in with your family. She can immediately apply for jobs, and she can also work as many hours as she wants. My wife.
So you're welcome back to this YouTube channel. So today I'm bringing you something that is very, very fantastic. I'm bringing somebody to this channel who is going to share with us experience, and is going to also share with us how you can move to Portugal. And without further ado, I'm going to be welcoming my guest. So welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Mike, for having me on your channel. I really appreciate it. So my name is Bimbo, and I'm currently based in Portugal with my family. And it's been, I think it's going to about 5 years now that we've been in Portugal. So, and I'm also a PhD student at the Universidade do Minho. And yeah.
So thank you so much for that brief introduction. I think that's suffice telling us that you're a PhD student and you are also living in Portugal with your family. All right, so please, could you just shed a little light into what motivated you to choose Portugal as your study destination?
One of the things I would say is an essential part of the motivation is finance. The most important motivation is the fact that it gives you a rest of mind compared to other countries. The tuition fee is very low compared to like UK, Canada, and the likes. And I mean, so yeah, so the most important motivation is the fact that the tuition fee is quite affordable for all programs, and it allows you to pay instrumentally. So that is the most essential part for us deciding and choosing Portugal.
Wow, that is brilliant. Thank you so much. I've heard so many people talking about Portugal lately, and I believe there are so many opportunities in Portugal, including, you know, getting to university, processing and all of that. But I believe everything is seamless, because not only that have I seen so many videos about moving to Portugal, either for study or for work purpose on YouTube. I've also had engagement with some of my friends here in Brazil that are intending to, you know, travel to Portugal. But before we just talk about some other opportunities that are in Portugal, can we quickly talk, you know, briefly, let's talk about the visa process in Portugal. Can you just walk us through the visa application process? How is it like?
Yes, thank you. The visa application process is, I mean, all visa application process is tedious, but not, you know, if you know what you are doing. But of course, the first stage is to apply for admission, ensure that you secure. If I applied before Portugal became very famous, I usually tell people apply to about 3. So when you secure admission, the first thing that you need to do is to take your document, and by document, I'm referring to your BSc certificate transcript. If you have MSc, if you're going for PhD, BSc and MSc certificates, BSc and MSc transcript, and take them first to Ministry of Education. Once Ministry of Education is done, you know, authenticating your documents, you take it to Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You book appointments with VFS, and then, you know, student visa is almost very easy for everyone, because that's the most important visa application that everybody easily come into Portugal with.
Okay, so that's beautiful. Thank you so much once again for, you know, sharing with us your insight about this. And but something came to my mind while you were talking, you know, and I believe it's also one of the reasons why most people actually want to travel abroad. It is not about to study alone, but to also find, you know, source of livelihood, right? So what does it look like, you know, studying in studying in Portugal? Can one work while studying? I mean, how
yes,
do one go about this?
That is one of the advantage of studying in Portugal compared to every other country. First of all, there is no restrictions with respect to number of hours that you can work per week, like every other country's practice. Started applying, and I think a month or, you know, 2, some of the application came in, and I was able to get a full-time job. So I was doing the full-time job Monday to Friday, plus the part-time job for 6 or 7 hours Saturday, Sunday. So I was doing it for like 2 to 3 months, and when the stress was not was not letting me see my front again. My friend advised me, that guy, don't kill yourself because of money. So I had to abandon the part-time one and focus on the full-time one. So there are no restrictions to the number of work hours that you can do, because you pay tax for every work you do. Yeah,
So
tax is there.
you're actually raking like two jobs together.
I mean, so Nigerians now, we call it fashe. Once you can fashe,
Yeah.
so
It's called hard working.
Hard working ahead, but that Igbo people call hard working. So, but we in Nigeria, our log is fashe. Once you can fashe, you are good. So, and at some point, because of stress and my mental capacity, because doing a PhD and running two jobs together, man, one have to give way for one. So, and I'm here for my PhD. I can't abandon it for anything. So, I had to leave one and focus on one. But the sincere truth is this: there is no restriction to the number of work hours that you can do. You can work for as many times as you want. And some people might be wondering, oh, what if I come with my family? And no, you can come in with your family. At the minute your wife gets a residence card, which allows her to stay in the country legally, she can immediately apply for jobs, and she can also work as many hours as she wants. My wife came in, I think, November. Yes, my wife came in November of that should be last year. Yeah, November of last year. She got a job because I was, very smart about the processing of their residence card. The minute she told me that the visa is available, I quickly applied for a residence card for her. So when she came in this week, the following week we went to apply for the residence card, and I think a week after the residence card was available. So everything was done very smart, because she has somebody on ground that is processing everything. So she came in November, she got job in December, she started the training in January. So, and she can work for as many hours. If she even want to do another job, she can do it. So there's no mago or hidden motive or hidden anything somewhere. No,
so please,
you can work as many hours.
Let me ask this question very quickly. Does that mean that if someone can manage to come to Portugal from whichever country that viewers are listening, if they can manage to come to Portugal, are you trying to tell us that they can actually work, and from that work they can be able to pay their school fees and still be able to live well?
Of course, that is the general idea. So, I mean, you can as long as you come into the country legally, and once you come into the long, because there are some people that they do mago to come into the country and they'll be complaining that there's no job, whereas they have not done the right thing.
I've not always been a fan of going through, just go through the right channel.
So as long as you come into the country legally and then you have your admission, immediately once you get your card, you can use it to look for jobs. There are many of my colleagues at that they are working to fund their study here. I apply for 20 installments, and so which means at the end of the month, when they pay my I pay the school 220. Yeah, 220, no, 225. Because during my set, they move our tuition fee to 45. So which means I need to be giving them, if it is 10 installment, I need to be giving them 4-5 every month. But when I looked at my family is still in Nigeria, I need to pay house rent, I need to fund them, so I moved it to 20 installments, and I was able to pay 225 every month. So as I collect salary, I give them their own too.
Wow. So while you were talking earlier, you talked about that from the beginning, you said there was a particular school that also gave you admission, whose school fees was a little bit cheaper than your school. Have you made some videos on information on your channel about this?
Not really. I mean, it's a general information out there. So far, okay, maybe I should just say it here. The schools that have the cheapest tuition fee for most of the courses that I've seen. I mean, this information is not 100%. It is for some programs that I've seen, like management program and some science courses that I've tried to look for people. Management programs, some science courses. So University of Coimbra, University of Agave, Polytechnic of Lira, and UTAD. I don't. Their name is very funny, but UTAD you can check online.
They're Portuguese acronyms now.
Yeah. So UTAD is the abbreviation that I normally use. So these are schools that let me see. So then University of Aveiro and Evora, those are schools that their tuition fees with respect to courses in management and social science or sciences, their tuition fee is still very reasonable. You can get as low as 1.5, especially, in fact, I have over 500 plus application on my system. I have never paid application fee for any of the school. Or in fact, I list them: Austria, Portugal, Sweden, like that. I've never paid application fee. So I always review your application process to make sure that there's nothing like application fee. Because I'm a struggling PhD student, Nigerians with family in Portugal. Where will I have all those application fee to be paying? No. So I will review your application process to make sure that there's nothing like application fee, and the language of instruction is in English. So there are many schools out there that have very cheap and low tuition. You just need to do your research. They are out there. So although, on my channel, I have discussed some few of them that you can look into for if you want English, schools that have English courses for international students. So yeah, I think there's a video that I did about that in one of my video there. So yeah.
So, okay, thank you. I actually want to ask two in one question now, because from what you have said, I can see that you actually have a lot of experience about this Portugal relocation, even to other countries. But so I want to ask, just in case somebody wants to school in Portugal with the intention of, if I'm able to get to Portugal, I'll be able to work, but I would like to get to Portugal, and maybe the person needs someone that can assist, because I can see that you have a lot of experience, and experience is the key. When somebody is doing all of this traveling to study, you actually need experience. So from what you have said, I can see that you actually have wealth of experience when it comes to Portugal, schooling in Portugal, working in Portugal. So I'm putting it to you that can you, if somebody wants to make this move, like I want to go and study in Portugal, do you offer some consultancy services?
Oh, yes. I
Like
actually
you
do
can help
on my
somebody to
portal.
apply, and you can give people insight into how to.
Yeah, there are two ways. There are two ways that I do this. In fact, there are three ways. Let me say three ways. There is a Telegram group that I try to control to avoid scammers coming in.
Okay.
And in there, for those that cannot afford paying people to, maybe get more information and likes, I've literally given almost everything there for free. But some people are very lazy to read or go backward to read information that has been posted there. Some important information I've pinned it to the group. So I have over 500 plus people there that, in fact, somebody announced got a visa yesterday, and there's another person got admission today. So there are many information that we push out there. So if you want to join the group and you don't have the money, yes, you can, join the group. But if you want, maybe you've run into a block, and you need
maybe the person is too busy, and he or she wants somebody.
So some people, I have like about almost 7 or 8 people on my paid services. Those ones, they are very busy. They don't want to do. In fact, according to them, they don't know or know how to go about it. They need somebody to pay to do it. So yeah, that's another service. But if you just want a consultation, like maybe 30 minutes, that any of your questions or issues, you write them down, you make the payment with the platform that we normally use. Once they send me a notification that somebody has registered for your consultation session, I will, reach out to you to look for your free time, so we can. Usually it's around 30 minutes that we put out there, but sometimes I go as far as, especially if the person has more and more questions. I try to ensure that I don't restrict it to the number of 30 minutes. The most important thing is that you get value for your consultation only that you're paying. So yeah, if it is that one, we have people as well that we just book the session, we deal with all their questions. Sometimes we even send them some resources that, normally full-time paid client benefit. But because you're also a paid time for 30 minutes, yeah, you should be able to benefit it. It now depends on how far you are able to use some of the information that I'm going to be providing and sharing with you. So yeah, there are those opportunities out there for not even only Portugal alone. Some people will say, oh, I want Luxembourg, I want Austria, I want, some of those other countries. Yeah, I mean, we do it extensively because, like I said, if I can show you my folder, you will see country by country, school by school in each of the folder. So yeah, it is just, sometimes when you're very desperate for something, you go very far to try to get to where you're going to until you get what you're looking for. That's when you stop. So Yeah, but the services is out there.
Thank you very much. And this very one, you're already making me to think of maybe I should make move of coming to Portugal like this. But let me finish my story first.
You are welcome. You're always
Let
welcome.
me
I mean,
let me finish
especially
my
you
story
are
first.
already in Brazil.
But let me finish my. I don't want
Yeah, I
this
mean,
thing
it's
to
good.
turn to
You're
a
already in
loss.
Brazil.
Sorry.
No, I mean, you're already in Brazil. Brazil
Yes.
is a Portuguese speaking country, and I think they have free visa entry into Portugal. So
Yeah.
if you have their residence card or maybe their citizenship, you should be able to come here without visa or any trouble.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very soon I will be flying to Portugal. So do we have other benefits like in Brazil, if you stay for some times, you can apply for residency permits. So, do we have other opportunities like naturalization after graduation, post graduation opportunities? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Yes, in Portugal, if you stay here for up to 5 years, you have the opportunity to be able to apply for permanent residence and thereafter citizenship. And if you give birth here, you can apply for citizenship for the child, and
Immediately
then
or after some times?
immediately.
Yes.
Then, if you get married to their citizen too, within 3 years, you can claim their citizenship. And
Okay.
yeah, and there are some other benefits. Even if you come here with a family, the child that you did not give birth in this country, if you apply for abono familiar, they pay the child, and they also pay the one that you give birth here as well. So, and this the school for children healthcare is free. So everything is made very affordable for everyone. So if you come in here and you are not enjoying some of those things, we need to check what exactly you have done wrong. So as long as you follow the due process, everything is at your disposal.
Let's talk about cost of living. What do you want to say about cost of living?
I mean,
Talking
cost
about
of living.
accommodation.
Yeah, cost of living for international students based on several factors. One of them is the city in which your study is, and for instance, city like Lisbon, city like Porto,
The capital,
and also Agave. Those are a little expensive city because Porto, for instance, is the what is it called here? So Lisbon, Porto, they are high expensive city, and they have one of the best school as well. But Agave now, because it's a tourist attraction, city, there are many people that comes in there. So, cost, in fact, there's a family friend that's a family of four that I just secured visa on our platform. So we've been trying to look for accommodation for them because according to I think they are coming in by ending of August or September. So accommodation is very because a city that has very good weather, very good sunlight, and all of those things. Those are the things that usually attract people to come into Portugal for vacations and some of those things. So cost of property, on the high side. So Braga as well. I mean, when I came in, I was paying about 140 for accommodation. That is without expenses. My expenses in a month is around 30, max 40. So which means at the end of the month, including my expenses, is around 180. Now, that was in 2021 January. Now, the same apartment that I lived in at that time, I got it for another person. The person was paying without expenses 180. Wow. With by the time they send bill and every other thing, she's paying about 230 because she's a lady. She's paying about 230, 240. So things are now on the high side with respect to accommodation. But if your school is in Evora, Aveiro, Villarreal, Lira, and some of those cities, I mean, you will enjoy it. I mean, some of those remote areas that is developed. I mean, the same infrastructure is everywhere, but in terms of
urbanization, in terms of urbanization,
let's say organization and exposure, yes, and maybe job likes. It's not that there are not jobs there. So, but in terms of the many jobs that are there and the number of people that are living there, it is not. You cannot compare it to cities where a whole lot of people comes in almost every time now and there, and so. Yeah, so your accommodation, I mean, now I'm going to, depending on the city, just at least budget with expenses, 300 euro up to for shared apartment. And by shared apartment, I mean if you manage to secure like 3-bedroom flat or 4-bedroom flat, that you guys take your room and you share kitchen,
Okay.
bedroom, and all of those things together. So budgets like maybe 300 euro to 500 euro per month. If you can be lucky, you can get less than that, but at least that should be your budget. But if you go to others, all those remote cities, I mean, you should not spend more than, in total with expenses, you should not spend more than 250 to 300, for the boats. Braga, Porto, Lisbon, and maybe Agave, just budget 300 to 500 and above.
Well, I think from my own side, I don't think there's any big deal. One of the most important thing is that even if I'm paying expensive if I'm paying expensive cost of living in quote, if I'm able to get the money and I'm able to pay and I'm able to save, I don't think there is a big deal. It's just like you're living, we are living good, we are living fine. We have to pay for what we live for. I mean, what we use, right?
Exactly. So, and the foods here are very, very cheap. Sometimes it's even the government that pay for some of those things, especially through compromise. There are some cards that they will issue to you at the mall that you normally shop all the time. So when you buy things worth of value of maybe 50 euro or maybe 100 euro, they give you a payback of about 40 euro. One they will give you to use it to buy fuel of 20 euro. Another one they will give you 20 euro to pick anything between a particular date. So, sometimes that's why sometimes family people, when they go shop, they try as well as shop to buy things up to 100 euro plus so that they'll be able to get incentives that they will share 20 for fuel, 20 for picking free things at the mall. So, yeah. I mean, even if you don't buy up to that, even before my family came in, I was still benefiting. Sometimes they will give me 10 euro as, in fact, in a month, they give me up to about 20 euro in a month, 10 euro, depending on the weeks that I go. So, I think it makes sense here because the foods are very cheap and everything is, So, I mean, if somebody says that otherwise in Portugal, we'll have to check their head. So,
I understand. Thanks so much, Mr. Bimbo. I really appreciate your sharing your experience with us here on this channel. All right, thank you guys, and that is it with the interview with Bimbo. Don't forget I told you that Bimbo is also a YouTuber, and the name of his YouTube channel is Japa with the Ades. So don't forget to visit his page and check out some of the videos he has made about traveling to different parts of the world. He has talked about Finland, Portugal, Canada. Just talk about it, and you're going to just talk about most of the big country. He has made a video about how you can relocate to these countries, maybe on work route or on student route. So I would advise you to visit Bimbo's YouTube channel. Once again, the name of his channel is Japa with the Ades, and don't forget to subscribe to his YouTube channel, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you are yet to subscribe, and I'm going to be dropping Bimbo's Telegram link or Telegram name on the description box of this video, and there will be also other information in the description box of this video. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for the time. I will see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.